Hello everybody, this is going to be a video using Python Scrapy, and we're going to look at web scraping an iframe and how to scrape iframes using Scrapy. So I've already looked at that in other videos using Selenium, but I wanted to tackle it this time with Scrapy, and we're going to use W3 schools as it's not something which is going to expose any passwords or compromise any security or anything like that. So let's get going. Firstly, what is an iframe? An iframe is used to display a web page within a web page. So what we're going to be doing is trying to get this bit out, and syntax is iframe src equals URL, title equals description. So the iframe tag specifies an inline frame, and you might commonly get this with a login box or some cookie acceptance messages, etc. So yeah, let's go and start up Scrapy, or start a Scrapy project. Let's create a new file, and this will be called w3s w3spider.py. From Scrapy import request from crawl from Scrapy. I always have to check this because it's case sensitive and you need the capital C and the capital P there. So yeah, can't take any gambles with that. Class W3s crawler. Let's just call it W3s spider. And scrapy.spider because I've not imported it. Name equals W3 spider. And this is the only problem when you get the automatic quotes with VS Code. Sometimes if you forget to do it at the start, then you end up with two quotes at the end and not one at the beginning. And let's do the feeds custom settings, and there you go. So I've just copied and pasted that because there's so many brackets and colons. It's just really custom underscore settings equals curly braces feeds, and then inside that's the key. And that's the value, and then inside that value you've got another key value and a key value there. So yeah, who wants to type that each time? Not me. Start underscore URLs, square brackets, and then we need to think about what we put into that. So okay, so let's actually look at the W3s site and see what we actually need. So that should be our start URL, because this is a page we're going to scrape, and then obviously we're going to try and get some content from inside of here. So what we'll do is we'll set that to be our start URL. So go over here, just make that a bit bigger for you, and Control plus, yes it is. Paste that in, give it a quote there, a single quote. Good. yeah, while we're at it, let's get the user agent as well. So right click, inspect element, and network. Click on the first result, drag that over a bit. Just check all is good, looks okay. Request headers, cookie connection set, user agent, copy. And in fact, we could put the user agent inside custom settings. So we'll just put a comma there, and in capitals, colon, do user dash, sorry, underscore agent, quotes, the value. Okay, so we got feeds and user agent in custom settings. I'm just going to do Control B. Yeah, get rid of the sidebar for you. That's a little bit better to see. So next, let's do our first function, which will be def parse. We want to parse itself and self response, and then we want to say, what should we extract? Should we extract the title? Response.xpath, and let's go and see how we can extract the title from the page. Let's just go across here. View page source. Okay, so to get the title, we'll just do copy xpath, just paste it back in there as I've just done, and we can do get first on that so it appears twice. Let's just do copy. We'll test that in Scrapy shell shortly, so we'll do paste that in there. Single quotes around that. And let's just test this in Scrapy shell, so let's open up a new tab. Okay, crawl 200, that's good. So then next we want to check the XPath. Let me just make that one always on top. Such a good feature. And then we'll go response.xpath head HTML head title get. Just missing the R there. Okay, good. We got the title. So if we put text on the end of that, dot text. Sorry, not there. Text. There we go. HTML iframes. So we've got the title. See that? So we've got it. It occurs 4 times. Because we're using get, it will get the first one. A bit like the old days with extract first. So there we go. That's getting the text. And thus getting us the title of the main page. So this is where we get to the good bit, and this is thinking about how we extract text from the iframe. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to get the XPath which identifies the iframe. So we need to go back to W3 schools page. And as you can see, I've just a little bit trial and error. I've just identified the iframe. So okay, so just before the main document, before the doc type HTML bit, the document hashtag document here, you can see we've got iframe src equals default.asp title w3 schools. That's what we want. So that's our iframe that we need to use. We need to get the selector for that. So copy xpath, and I've just pasted it in here, and that's really not something that you would want to be using because it's so subject to change. Slightest change would mess all of this xpath up. So this is a good reason why you would not want to use the xpath supplied by the developer tools. So let's change it. Okay, and with a little bit of trial and error, you can see that I've actually written an xpath to identify it. So /iframe. So we're looking for an iframe, so that's already narrowing it down. And then we're looking for at title, and then we're looking for that title, W3 Schools HTML tutorial. So once we've got that, we've got ourselves a unique xpath. So if we just test that again, and let me bring up Scrapy shell. And if we do response, now the interesting thing here will be whether it actually shows us, whether it finds it within the page or not, because an iframe is inside the main page. Let's see what happens. It's found something. So we could get, and it's found the source, which the default.asp is what you will see when you look at the page, which got too many windows open, but you will see it in due course. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass title in the next request. So I'm going to pass that with the callback to a new function called parse iframe, and that will be again self response. And what we need to do is we need to put in some kind of yield request response, yield request in the end of our parse method, which then calls parse iframe, and it also passes title along with it because it needs to cascade down until we yield it to our output file. So what we need to do is actually make a dictionary that we can use with meta. So initial data equals, and then we will say title equals title. Like that. It's not equals, it's dictionary, so it's colon. Okay, so then we'll yield to the next method function, and then we will call self.parse underscore iframe. Okay, and here I'm just concatenating, I'm adding the response from the xpath, which actually often got me default.asp, and we're going to concatenate that to the original URL of the page, and that will then provide us with the URL that we need to request to access the iframe. I've just added the crawler process code. It's a lot easier to run it with crawler process. You can just, in VS Code, you can click the play button if you've got Code Runner installed. I'm just doing this as a bit of commentary now because the sound wasn't available when I was recording this. I had an error there for I forgot the / at the end of the w3schools.com HTML. So I hope this has been interesting. All I'm really doing is I'm extracting a page title from an iframe, which might seem very basic, but I wanted to keep it basic because obviously there's what's the Unix philosophy? Do one thing, do it well. So the whole point of this is to understand how you can extract data from an iframe along with data from the outer page. So we've got title equals title. So we want the title of the outer page and the inner page. That's the whole point of this. And what we expect in our output ultimately is title and inner title. So we only expect to have an output file with 2 keys and 2 values. So we've got title equals HTML iframes. So that's the outer title. So that's the title of the main page. And what we need to do now is we need to add to our dictionary, and we need to use, so response.meta.get is how you get the title which was passed down from the parse method. And as you can see here, I've got an error because my code for the xpath was wrong. And now it's correct because we've got title and we've got iframe title. So we've got a title which is HTML iframes, and the iframe title is tutorial, as per the earlier screenshot that I showed. So hope this has been interesting, and compare and contrast this against the Selenium video, which I've also done. Now, ultimately, you may need to use this if you're just using Scrapy. You may need to use this to get a form, and once you've got the form, then you can pass data using your post to a form, post Scrapy form response, and yeah, there we go. We have extracted data from a page and an iframe using Scrapy. So I hope this has been interesting, and if you've got any comments, if you find it useful, let me know, and I'll be back with some things very soon.